Yeah. Good evening, teacher. Thank you for taking some time for this interview session. My name is Aisha from MSC Sabah. May you introduce yourself?
Um, uh, Thank you very much. Good evening. My name is Putri Ramana Idora Binti Roslan. I'm an English teacher for year 3. Currently, I was teaching in SK Paris 3 Singapore. And it would be delighted for you to invite me. Uh,
Okay. Okay, we go to the first question, teacher.
okay.
What are the most rampant disciplinary issues you have experienced in this school of flats?
Okay. Okay, I have to clear out my answer. Okay. Okay, one of the most unthinkable disciplinary issue that I experienced with as a teacher is a chronic absenteeism, whereby the student miss substantial numbers of day in school. Okay, moreover, the second rampant disciplinary issue that I experienced is bullying. Okay, as we all know, there's been a news um, recently is about you know, bullying is about when a person is trying to uh, put a word or a power to dominate other people to make them
Mhm.
feel helpless. Okay, furthermore, the third most frequently occurring discipline lah for in the school is students not be able to complete their homework assignment because that they tend to overlook their homework, school, and project.
Okay, thank you. Could you elaborate more regarding the issues you have stated?
Okay, first and foremost, the most rampant discipline the issue that is firstly is about the chronic absenteeism. Students tend to be absent to school with no proper reasonable reason or excuses, causing them to miss out study, not being able to catch up with lessons. Okay, on the top of that, bullying is a very serious disciplinary uh, issue. Okay, because that we all know recently happened in college vocational Hadatu. There's a boy who is beaten up to death by his fellow friends. Um, Occurred to these bullying cases causes a deep scar among the student, which gives them a traumatic emotion, and they will not go to school because they already have the fear of the abuse and the shame. Okay, beside of that, students also having a problem not completing their homework, assignment, and project. This should be addressed. Okay? This is very needed to be addressed at the university, but it's because the causes of the student to be left out to the school and the studies and unable to catch up with their peers, they hence to take more serious accountability to complete their homework.
Okay, thank you, teacher. Okay, next is what kind of student usually find themselves in this situation?
The usual norm is that mostly students that get into disciplinary issues are students that came from a broken and problematic family, whereby their parents are divorced, separated, or have been not living together. Okay, these children, these kids, having traumatic past and a bad family background, hence they use school for the source of the escape or the source of the attention, whereby they show their power, influence to their peers. Moreover, the poverty issue among the student and their family could be one of the factors for the disciplinary issue occurring in school.
Okay, thank you, teacher. What do you think are the primary factor for these disciplinary issues?
The primary factor. Okay. Okay. The primary factor that I can say is among the students is the dysfunctional home life, okay, which can impact student behavior and causing the disciplinary issues such as disrespect, defiance, bullying, and aggression. Moreover, peer pressure is one of the factors of this disciplinary issue that it can negatively impact student behavior by pushing them to copy the behavior of their peer without being able to think consistently of its aftermath effect.
Okay, thank you, teacher. Okay. What is difficult for you when coping with the student in your classroom?
From my perspective of view, it was very difficult to cope with this student that have this action in classes because they have to build completely different manners and approaches compared to the other students in the classroom.
Okay. How do you usually cope with the situation, teacher?
I usually cope with the student that has kind of issues, especially disciplinary, in the way of whereby I show extra empathy, care, attention to them, and deal with it to calm them and collect in a collected manner without showing anger, hatred, or whenever they make a mistake or they make some sort of disciplinary issue in the future.
Okay, teacher. What action have the school done in light of the situation? Um, I mean, toward both the disciplinary issue and the problematic student.
Oh, okay. Our school has taken few precautionary measures, okay, to with this kind of issues, okay, especially for our discipline teacher, okay, Mr. Hazis, during the assembly, he will giving a talk, okay, to the students to make sure that they constantly reminded and keep accountable regarding to the rules and regulations in the school about the do's and the don'ts. Okay, moreover, the school enforce stricter and better rules that make them clear into the discipline book. Okay, for the student to be able to read and know themselves what are the rules, regulations to be obeyed in the school.
Okay. Have you personally done anything to resolve this situation and the student involved?
Yes, I personally have met the parents of the students who have this kind of community or they have some discipline issue that it, I explain to the parents help and we come up with the decision how to face the issue. Moreover, I personally give the certain student names to the counselor of the school to give them a counseling session in order to handle this kind of disciplinary issue.
Okay. I give you the last one question. What do you think is the most effective way the school, its staff and teachers, as well as the educational ministry could do to minimize the occurrence of disciplinary issue and creation of such problematic students?
Okay, in my opinion, the most effective way to school could do is minimize, okay, for this kind of disciplinary issue is that to enforce more strict rules and regulations and enforce the merit and debit system, okay, that will be student will be positively rewarded when they obey the rules and will be get demerits and will be punished when they go against the rules. Okay. Furthermore, not even the teachers, the staff itself should constantly remind students during the assembly or without the assembly every week, every day regarding the disciplinary issue, and repeatedly telling them that the rule or regulation of the school, so they are keep that in mind. So at the same time, it can reduce the number of the problematic students. Moreover, I think our Minister of Education should have more disciplinary campaigns to promote this kind of disciplinary on the national level that involving students, so that students are be able to aware, and they also promote to spread the awareness regarding to the any discipline problems or bullying or whatsoever, to reduce the occurrences of them.
Okay, thank you, teacher. Thank you so much. And I will end this interview session. I'm sorry for the inconvenient cause that may uh, trouble our interview.
It's
Okay,
never mind.
teacher.
This level,
Thank you
and I
so
wish the
much.
best of you. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Alson. Thank you for taking some time for me for this interview session. Can you introduce yourself first?
Okay, hi, good evening. My name is Alson Andrew. Currently a teacher in SK St. Stephen Lahadatu and an alumni of MSUC Sabah.
Okay, Alson. We're moving on for the first question. What are the most rampant disciplinary issues you have experienced in the School of Light?
The most rampant disciplinary issues that we have experienced in this school lately, mainly in our school, disruptive behaviors like when teachers are teaching and students are not paying attention, tardiness like submitting late homework, late to school, not following schedules, and cheating during an exam.
Okay, thank you for the answer. Could you elaborate more regarding the issue you have stated?
Disruptive behaviors include students talking out of turn, so they all like there's no line and they don't raise their hand and they just keep on talking when questions are asked, and being disrespectful to teachers and peers and not following classroom rules. And there's some cases that bullying are also involved in both physicals and verbal among the student. And in terms of tardiness, it's been consistent issues. Like I heard from the teachers even before I was there, tardiness is an issue that have been long in there. Mm.
Okay. What kind of student usually find themselves in these situations?
So these students are usually find themselves in this situation tend to be those who have difficulty following rules, lack respect for authorities, the teachers, any authorities in the school, struggle with peer relationship, they prefer to be alone, and may have issue at home, probably like personal issue at home with their families like that.
Okay. What do you think are the primary factors for these disciplinary issues?
I think it's the lack of proper disciplinary measures in place, lack of parental environment. I think there's the parents' involvement in the student disciplinary is so lacking in here that some of them taking advantage of leaving their kids at school, not to learn, but more like a daycare, so
Okay.
that they can do their work at home. Yes, it's like that.
Okay. Was it difficult for you when coping with the student in your classroom?
It can be challenging and draining. And it also can disrupt the learning environment for other students, and I need to give my extra attention to this kind of student so that they don't disturb, like I mentioned before, the other student.
Okay. How do you usually cope with the student?
So normally I will set a clear expectation with them about the consequences of their behavior, and then I communicate with them about their behavior, and then I try to give suggestions how to solve their issues. And if it's got worse, I involve their parents and the other administrator in school.
Okay, thank you for the answer. We move on to the next question. What action have the school done in light of this situation? I mean, toward both the disciplinary issue and the problematic student.
So the school have implemented a stricter disciplinary policy, held counseling session for problematic students, and work with parents to address behaviors issue. So the school also provide additional resources and support for teachers that dealing with this kind of students. So yeah, the school help the teachers a lot.
Okay. Have you personally done anything to resolve the situations and the student involved?
I do actually. Is I have taken step to address the situations and student involved by providing extra help and care for them, by communicating regularly with parents, like update this your kids did this at school, like that, and also sharing their improvement with parents, like collaborating with them, like what have they got done wrong at home that can be corrected by the teachers at school. So yeah, I did that for now.
Okay. Last question for you. In your opinion, what do you think is the most effective way the school, its staff, and teachers, as well as the educational ministry, could do to minimize the occurrence of disciplinary issue and creation of such problematic students?
So we've seen this a lot in school, but then I still believe that the ministry could strengthen their anti-bullying program, by providing emotional learning opportunity for students, so they know where and how they can repent their emotion, and also provides social emotional learning opportunity for them. So where we offer support for at-risk student, that's student with suicide thought, like that. So we offer them help. Also, like I mentioned before, involve parents and provide ongoing training for the new teachers, and also provide the teachers with classroom management skills and technique. Yes.
Okay, thank you for all the answer, Mr. Elson, and thank you for your time and accepting my interview invitation. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.